Over the last week, our administration has been meeting with the incoming council members to help them prepare to take office and hit the ground running. That becomes critically important. That I think, quite candidly, that they've earned these positions of leadership, and our administration, which consists of our department heads, our employees, our unions, the community activists that are part of sort of our DNA, if you will, that these council member elects have earned the right to lead this city, and we are excited to be partners with them. They're meeting with our deputy mayors, our staff, our department directors. Our commitment to transparency becomes critically important. You know, having, of course, served in that position, I remember how critical it was to have access to people, access to data. I've worked with administrations as a council member when it was less than ideal. And I understand that often because we have an agenda, we have an idea and a vision, and sometimes it could be misaligned with people in a different department, whether that be the legislative department or the municipal court or even the city attorney's office. And when I took office, one of the things that our administration committed to is to try to erode those factions, those artificial barriers to the success of the city. I've personally watched these council member elects campaign, and I was very proud as a Seattleite to see how they led with integrity, commitment, passion. Things are exciting. You're going to hear from these incoming members in a moment. But what they've been doing since the campaign, quite candidly, is getting ready. They've heard me say that we don't take victory laps. You know, take a couple jogs now and then, that's okay. They did win, and they won because they worked hard, and I expect their work effort to shine through policies, through budget analysis, through advocacy. And quite candidly, many of them, in fact, all of them talk strongly about public safety, their commitment to the issues residents care about, housing and homelessness, a focus on the basics like constituent response and listening, fixing potholes, accessible transit, clean and welcoming parks. Sort of the basic components of this city that they talked about passionately. Too often, I think, people want to put politicians in a binary box of progressive or moderate, when in reality, this group is less concerned about the hardline ideologies and more committed to just simply getting stuff done. I've heard them campaign on that, and that's why I think this is so exciting. What really excites me about this group is the diversity of life and professional experience they have. I'll name just a few. We have, this is supposed to be sort of funny, but I don't know how this is going to roll out. I didn't practice this part, by the way. So we have 2 veterans. We have 2 UW alumni, go Dogs. But we also have 5 Husky supporters. No, I just wrote that in there. I wrote that in there. 2 from city service. We have 3 lawyers. We have 4 with parents or kids in public schools. We have 2 that are dog owners. No cat owners in here? We love cats too. We have 2 whose parents worked as welders. We have 2 whose parents worked in educators as educators. We have 2 that are small business owners. To join Councilmember Nelson as a small business owner. The diversity of life experience, they're well educated, well versed in philosophy, religion. No, I don't know about this stuff. But in all seriousness, their life experiences, which I think is so critically important to these jobs, I think we've heard their stories, and they were passionate stories about what they've overcome, the impediments to progress, impediments to their self-optimization that got them to this point. That becomes critically important of this work we're going to do. Now, very recently I spoke about some of the outgoing council members to some of those who attended a going away party. And again, I want to thank my cabinet members who are here, parts of our members of our administration, that contrary to what some would say, we did some marvelous work together, and that's why I'm so thankful for their work. We sent 344 bills down to this council in the last couple of years. All of them passed. None of them failed. I see central staff members here. I want to thank you for your policy work that you did. In fact, Councilmember Sawant only voted against 22 of those 344. So that's work right there. Of the council-sponsored 57 bills, I only vetoed one. We worked together collaboratively on trying to get things across the finish line. We sent council 22 department director nominations, and they confirmed all of them. Very recently, the outgoing council passed, very recently, some phenomenal legislation in our building emissions performance standards, affectionately known as BEPS. We worked on and passed a firefighter contract, our downtown activation plan and associated legislation. They recently confirmed our two very important department directors, Jennifer Chow and Golgun Kayem, that's of Arts and Culture and Department of Neighborhoods. The housing levy they worked on that passed at the same time these leaders were passed, $970 million toward one of the crises of the hour, our housing issues, the industrial lands policy, the tree ordinance. The outgoing council, we did some phenomenal work together. And so I want to dispel of this narrative that things were so bad in City Hall, because that includes all of us together. Things were so bad we couldn't get anything done. We got a lot done, which then leads and sort of begs the question, what can we do now with people who decided to leave and people who come in? And that's why we're here today. We have some excitement and some energy on the kinds of things we want to do together. And I trust that they will lead with integrity, with passion, with intelligence. They are proven already